Welcome to Streamer Story, the podcast where we talk to streamers about why they stream, where they came from, and what keeps them going. I'm your host, GupasMegerg, and today's guest is one of the most committed and generous streamers I know. He's a wrestling fan, a serial charity fundraiser, a proud Ohioan, and the potential proprietor of the Bone Zone, the Bud Hut, the Ball Hall, whatever it is. Kevbone316, welcome to the show.
Hey man, thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm really, really good. I'm pretty tired today. Had a full day. Took my toddler to a mall on the other side of the state where she got to go to like a bunch of like playgrounds and things like that. That it was just all active all day. So full disclosure, I'm real tired, but I'm told you are also quite tired today.
Yes, that's pretty much my natural state during the week. I work a job with 4 10-hour days, and my day starts at 4 a.m. when I get up. So
that's too early.
Normally, I'm
just going to throw that out there.
Sleep by now.
Well, I mean,
that's what it is.
I really appreciate you taking the time to do this, because when I said, we're recording at 8 o'clock at night, and when I reached out the first time and said, would 8 o'clock be a good time? You said you could make it work, and I was like, oh, maybe he's got something else going on that night. But no, it's just you have to wake up silly early.
I generally, my goal is to get to bed by 8 p.m. every night, but more often than not, I'm aiming for 7 to 7:30, and so I make sure to try and get a decent amount of sleep. It was just really hard to do, but I need it more and more these days.
I feel that. I love that I just like nailed the perfectly wrong time to do this for you. I hit the hard limit.
I'm more than happy to be here.
Right on the nose. Well, I appreciate it so much, and we can just jump right in because I know that that time is precious for you right now, and every second you spend talking to me is a second that you're not sleeping. But let's jump in with our first official question here, and I would love for anyone who's listening who doesn't know who you are or what you do on Twitch, could you just let us know, how would you describe your stream to someone who has never watched before? Like, how would you sell it to someone if they were going to tune in for the first time today with no concept of like your history as a streamer? What would you tell them?
That's a very good question because we just do a lot of different stuff on the channel. It's I know variety is a word a lot of streamers like to throw around out there, but it's also exactly what we do. You don't know if we're going to be playing a platformer game, an action-adventure game, a shooting game, a WWE game, or a fighting game. We might be doing games that have crowd control activated where people can mess with me. We might be doing a horror stream where we have scare alerts and my audience is trying to scare the bejesus out of me. It might be a community game day and we're doing a bunch of multiplayer games. So honestly, variety is the word I would use to describe it. It's a bunch of different stuff, hang out, have a fun time, put the world away for a minute, and hang out and have a good time. Have some fun.
I like the phrase "put the world away for a minute" because I resonate really, really highly with that. That's what historically Twitch has been for me, is a place where I can kind of step outside of whatever is going on, whether I'm watching or broadcasting myself. I love that. Yeah. I will note a recurring theme that I kind of heard through your description there is people might be messing with me.
Oh, yes. You will absolutely see that no matter what day you tune in. I don't know how it happened. I'm just such a punching bag. It's just true where I take a brunt of the abuse and the I don't know if slander's the right word.
Well, it's in chat, right? So it's print, so it's libel, yes. I think, technically.
Well done. Yes. So, yeah. It's a lot of give and take, and I take a lot, but it's all in good fun. So we just like to have a fun time no matter what we're doing, what we're playing. It's just a place to be, put the world away for a minute, I guess.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And honestly, having been in quite a few of your streams over the years, I have to say I've always been impressed by how well you can be a punching bag. That's like the perfect way to describe it. And I've been trying to find words for it recently, like in preparation for this. Like you are very good at that. I I have days sometimes where I'm like, if somebody says one cross thing to me or like makes fun of me for like one bad piece of gameplay or something, I might just like end the stream. Like that might be the end of it. And so I've always been very, very impressed that you can take that and make that like a positive interaction point for your community. That's really impressive.
Yes. It takes some thick skin to be able to do that. But we even did a roast of Kevbone316 on my
Yeah.
channel a little over a year ago, and everybody just took that opportunity and just ran with it. And
They were all
it's
just
so easy
waiting
to
for it.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, they were like, we built that out and like, we'll give you guys time to put something together, but it's very easy to do. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. There's a million and a half jokes there. I'm not the best at video games. There's a million jokes there. There were just a lot of other moments that people could just pull from. It was that particular stream was a really good time, but there's also a little bit of that in every stream I do.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
would feel like a really, it would really feel like a really weird day if I didn't get made fun of at least a few times on any particular broadcast.
Something's wrong if everyone's just nice to me all day long.
I'd be like, this universe is out of alignment right now. I don't know what's
Oh.
happening here. That's that's how it would feel.
But like the counterpoint to that, I like maybe not counterpoint, but the maybe poetic piece of that, I don't know exactly how to describe it. Is that I think that anybody who knows you as a streamer, especially given how much charity fundraising you've done over the years, know that like you are such a kind, generous person, and so like the fact that there's this kind of like fake negativity around your stream, like the making you the punching bag, is such a like. It's such a silly thing, and I think that people feel a little bit comfortable doing it because they know that like you're not actually a piece of garbage, you know? Like it's so far from the truth to dig at you in any kind of way there. So yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. I hope so. I hope so.
That's been my experience, at least. That's the read that I get from everyone that I have talked to about you. We're all talking behind your back very positively.
Well, that's good. High
Oh.
praise, yeah.
High praise, just not to your face. That's
Oh yes, no, never, never.
Oh goodness. Well, we know where we're at now. We know what somebody might expect if they were to tune in to an episode of the Kevbone316 show. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's move backwards from that. And tell me a little bit about your streamer journey. When did you start streaming, and what did your streams look like back then?
Well, to get to the start of me streaming, we kind of have to move back a little bit because my channel kind of started because of Extra Life and charity streaming. Um, there was a website. I don't even think it exists now anymore. It was called Ustream TV, and there was a group of guys that called themselves the Mario Marathon that was streaming on behalf of Child's Play. They would be playing They would go through the Mario series every year, and play Mario games for literally an entire week. They'd all like take turns sleeping and playing and doing challenges for the audience and stuff like that. And raise a bunch of money for it. I'm like, you can do that? I didn't know that kind of a charity event had even existed. They were one of the first ones to actually do something like that, and I enjoyed watching that every year. And then they eventually moved from Ustream to Twitch, which I had never heard of until they got there. And so they kept doing their yearly events, and I found other yearly marathon charity events to watch as well. And I started watching speedrunners on there. And then I kind of decided, you know what? I kind of want to try and do something like that myself. And that's when I heard about Extra Life. And I decided to get a group of family and friends together. We formed a group called the Give Back Gamers. And we raised money through Extra Life for Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital right here in Cleveland. So my first stream I ever did, really showing my age here. This was February 2013 was my very first stream on Twitch. So I've been going at this for
Three
about
or
what
4 years, yeah.
that's 12 that's like 12 years ago, and it's nuts to me to even think about. So I know my first streams I know were not that great. I know I had a Dazzle capture device, which like just had the composite cables on it. And I
Yeah.
also had an audio mixer and a boundary microphone. I literally bought the exact equipment like the Mario Marathon group had, and I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, I'll kind of do that. And I remember my second broadcast I did. I had some of my friends who were able to tune in, and the first thing they told me is that the audio kept doubling over, which means for that first broadcast I did, it was audio kept looping the entire time because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But like, I eventually started figuring it out. The equipment I had wasn't great. I was using a program called XSplit. I don't know if OBS even existed yet, but XSplit, it's like OBS, but you had to subscribe to it. And
Right.
my computer just wasn't that good. But I started figuring things out in streaming in February that year, knowing that we were doing Extra Life in October. I'm like, if I'm going to start to figure this stuff, I need to figure stuff out now. I need to get this done early. I don't want it to be a month before the event and scrambling to put stuff together. And so anytime I streamed before then was just trying to figure out how everything worked, how to make it work, try and maybe build an audience outside of family and friends. But for the most part, when we got to our first Extra Life event, it it was mostly family and friends watching and donating and hanging out with us. But we crushed our goal by like 2 or 3 times the amount we set, which was amazing to me. And I started streaming just a little bit more beyond that. The Give Back Gamers group lasted 3 years. I didn't really have much of a schedule at the time, but after that group dissolved, I started like streaming through my PS4 a lot. That had like the
Mhm.
Twitch app on it. Wasn't really a whole lot you could do customization wise there, but I'm playing Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto 5 and still streaming from my Wii U and doing Mario Maker stream and stuff like that. So that was another thing that really started helping make things happen because a lot of people like sharing their Mario Maker levels.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm not actually certain about this. I was trying to parse out in my brain like when did what was the first stream that I ever caught of yours? It might have been some Mario Maker actually. Like that. Now that you say
Dang.
that sounds really familiar. But Mario Maker was huge for a second, and you would always have people like coming into streams and being like, "Here's my code, here's my code, here's my code, play my level." Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I actually I didn't know because I don't think you and I have ever sat down and had a conversation about this. I didn't know that you started streaming from a place of like I want to do charity fundraising. Like I didn't know how absolutely core that's been to your
Yes.
journey, to your story. That's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it started because of the Mario Marathon crew, who are fantastic, by the way. And I'm like, I want to do something like that. And then through just hanging out on Twitch, I found out about Extra Life, and I looked into it, and I'm like, do they have any Cleveland area hospitals they raise money for? Bingo. So that's what we're gonna do. And I was lucky enough to have a good support group around me of family and friends that wanted to get together for 24 hours and do this kind of thing. So after Give Back Gamers dissolved, like I kind of took a break from charity streaming for a little bit because it was just kind of me on my own there for a while. But
Mhm.
then once I had really started building up an audience through the games I was playing and friendships I've made on the platform, I'm like, you know what? I want to start doing this. So that led to an extra life stream, I think in 2018. I did that one on my own. I was a one man team. And then Sassy invited me to Gamers for Giving the next year.
Mm.
So then I'm like, okay, we can do more events too. I think we can make this work and make a real positive impact.
Yeah, that's incredible actually. Like to see the kind of dominoes of all of this line up, you know. I have a similar like thread of thought about how I got to streaming. It doesn't involve I wish it did, but it doesn't involve charity streaming in the same way that yours does. But like I have that like here was the first person who got me hooked, and then I started streaming very small and like just to friends and family, and then picked up a little bit of steam, and then took a long break. Like there's a lot of parallels here. And I love that you note actually that you started just with friends and family, and also that you started with technical difficulties, because
Oh yes.
I think there are so many people who would tune into a stream like yours or tune into a stream like mine and be like, oh man, they've got it figured out. Like they know how the equipment works and everything. Like I have to know exactly how everything works the moment that I hit go live the first time, and it's so not true. And the first
But
best audience, I think, is your friends and family. Like get anybody who's willing to show up and support you in there, you know?
yes, 100%. That I think is great advice for people just starting out. Get some family and friends there, see what's working, see what's not. They can help you work through the technical issues. A lot of people go on a stream, see technical issues, and then just peace out the door. Your
Right.
family and friends, they'll help you out. They'll help you work through it, and you'll start to figure it out eventually. And even 12 years in, still trying to figure it
Yeah,
out.
yeah, absolutely. People who are familiar with my stream know I am so familiar with technical difficulties and those frustrations. We've all been there. I remember I don't know if even he remembers this, but when I first started streaming, I played a lot of League of Legends, which I wouldn't recommend for a starting streamer. It's a very saturated category. But I had some friends who would pop in and say, "Hey," and I remember KV another famed Kev in this community, popped in
Yes.
when we were just kind of like acquaintances. We played Ultimate Frisbee together, and he popped in and he was like, "Hey man, you're muted." And I looked over at my OBS, and I had been going for like 4 hours, just completely muted the entire time. So your point about I was looping audio, like nobody would have wanted to watch that, or yep, I've been there,
Yes.
exact opposite side of that coin. Yeah, yeah.
Those things happen. That's happened to me before. It's like, oh, hey, are we supposed to be hearing a voice chat? Oh, for the past 2 hours. Yes. Yes, you should
Yep.
have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, or
It's
we're hearing two pieces of music at the same time as my kryptonite. Oh, I'm always accidentally playing two sounds at once. Awful, awful, awful.
uh
So you start with charity streaming. You do a bit of that with your Give Back Gamers. You take a break. You come back. You get into Gamers for Giving and Extra Life streaming. That brings you right up. Probably you said 2018 or so around there. Um,
yeah, that's when things
so
really started to kind of happen.
yeah, yeah. So tell me about the last few years of streaming then. Which man, that's actually like 7 years, isn't it, between 2018
It
and now?
is, yes. I was just thinking that too. Jesus, how this happened.
In my head, it's 2019 at most. Most of the time, my brain says it's 2016.
In my head, the 90s are still like 10
Mm.
years ago, and they're very not.
Oh, so tell me about your last 7 or so years of streaming.
They've been really good. We've been doing the two charity events every year. We've tried to throw some other ones in there too, but there's only so many charity events I think that you can do where like your community only has so much money they can give to charitable cause. You don't want to really dilute it or anything. But Gamers Outreach is a great cause. Extra Life has been a great cause. Um, But it was actually around 2016 where I started like the current job I'm at now, which, as you stated before, it's 4 10-hour days, Monday through Thursday. This gives me 3 days for my weekend, which is great. Love that part for me. It's
Yeah.
perfect. So like that puts my schedule at Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And I'm like, okay, we'll do our Friday stream, uh, kick off the weekend with a nice cold, tall beer, and then play community games with everybody on Saturday because I feel like that's the day during the weekend most people can get together and play games, vote on what we play, and then play something more chill on Sunday. Now that Sunday doesn't even really feel like much of a day off for me because I gotta be in bed at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
But things are going well. We're just playing just a lot of different stuff. I try to do this one thing. I haven't done it enough recently. It's called the Great Games Project, where I
Yeah.
play a bunch of highly regarded games from the past that, for whatever reason, never played them before. I got to play like A Link to the Past and like Arena of Time for the first time, or like some of the Mafia games, and a few other games like that, which has been really fun to do. I have a really tough time going back and playing older games that have bad mechanics in the
Oh,
now.
same. It-
It's so I'm playing Mario Sunshine and I'm hating the bejesus out of this game.
Same.
It's just so wonky. And I'm like, you people love this game and I don't get
Uh,
it.
The problem with Mario Sunshine is that like it's such a good speed run to watch. I don't know if you've watched Sunshine speed runs, but it's so good and they make it look so easy. And so I jump into Mario Sunshine and I'm like my it's like my hands just don't work on the controller. I'm like none of this makes sense. It looks so easy for them. Why is it so difficult? And then I get to the end. I 100% of that game, and the
Wow.
moral of the story for me at the end of it was like I should be way more impressed with Super Mario Sunshine speedrunners because that's on another level. That's a different plane of
Yeah.
existence. That game is so clunky.
Yes, I commend them. That is 100% accurate. If you can play that game to anything close to perfection, that that is that is just a compliment. That is such I heap high praise on you for it.
It should
There's
be on your like
nothing.
professional resume. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yes. That
Oh,
shows you how dedicated and driven you are. Put that on your resume.
yeah, absolutely.
It's
You can
true.
handle technical things. You can handle hitting your head against a wall for hours on end. That's what it feels like for me. Oh, goodness.
Oh, for
But
sure. Yeah.
I kind of love, for anybody who's not familiar with you, I kind of love how you've set yourself up with these two charity events because you end up after each charity event with like a list of rewards for your community that are very oftentimes like special streams. And I don't know if you try to fit them all in before the next charity event, like if that's your goal, but it feels like you set yourself up really successfully with a bunch of like special streams for people to like key into and be like, oh, there's an event happening. I should get over to Kevbone's stream. And then by the time you run out of those, you're on to the next charity event and you've reset the list of streams. That's really cool.
Yes. I have fallen into a trap lately where I'm now just playing catch up on a bunch of stuff, especially like these dedicated streams I owe people for a lot of the charity
Oh,
events.
sure.
If they
Yeah.
donate like $100, they can click on dedicated stream, and I've got to play a game of their choosing for 3 or 4 hours, and I've fallen a little bit behind on those, but I'm working on getting to those. But like the the crowd control weekend is always a milestone that we use for those, and those have taken on a life of their own. Those are a lot of fun to do. And the horror stream with scare alerts, that has been another popular one. I do not like horror games or just being scared in general at all. That hasn't I hate them so much. I'm legit terrified whenever we're about to do them. Honestly, I
Mm-hmm.
do not like it. But anything to make everyone else feel happy, anything to cheer them up. So that works. Um, we've done speed run challenges before as a milestone where I've got to try and learn a speed run over 12 hours in a weekend. I've only done that one twice, and I really should revisit that one more often. I have a lot of fun.
Tip my hat to you. I
Yeah.
stole that idea from you and failed out of it so quickly, actually.
You have to pick the right game and the right category. Because the first time I tried it, I'm like, I could learn 70-star Super Mario 64 speedrun in 12 hours, and I did not. I maybe learned how to do 40, 45 of the stars, and I'm like, okay, I know this game like the back of my hand. It's my favorite
Mm.
game of all time. So I'm like, the rest of this, we're just gonna have to wing it. And so the next time I did it, I did Super Mario World, which was 11 exit. And that worked out real well because it's like, okay, I've got 12 hours to learn this speedrun. I have 11 levels to do. That just about adds up. So I'm spending roughly an hour each level and then using any extra time I have to go back and learn different sections again. So I don't know that there is a short category for what did you do? Was it Banjo Kazooie?
It was
Is that the one you tried?
Banjo-Kazooie. I'm a fool. I thought I'll never be mad at Banjo-Kazooie. What a fun game. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah, I think that's a tough one to do because I don't know that there's any category of that speedrun you could really realistically learn in 12 hours.
Yep. Yeah, and it's also got some of those clunky sunshine-like controls there. Yeah. You actually,
Yes.
going back a little bit, you actually solved a problem for me because I used to let people cash in channel points to get a dedicated stream. And people have been asking me for that recently. And I think you just solved it. Just make them give money to charity for it. And then
Yes.
I'll play whatever they want. And I won't feel like it's stressing me. I'm putting myself into your trap here, but I'm going to fully
Yes.
accept it. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's a good one to do. That one does real well for us. There's a lot of the eating hot and spicy things challenges we do. Um, I still have this.
Yeah, mine's around here somewhere.
I have this as a memento.
I'm a little bit worried now that my
Oh,
toddler walked off with it, actually, because it was
oh,
sitting
oh
here and I don't
no.
see it. But
As long as it's empty, I think we'll be okay.
yeah. For those who aren't familiar, the Death Nut Challenge is a challenge where you eat very spicy nuts, 5 different levels of very spicy nuts. Kev and I did that as a reward for Extra Life last year, and I think my soul left my body a couple of times during that one.
That was unpleasant. That was a rough
That's such an
day.
understatement.
We're like, oh, we'll set aside what 15, 20 minutes. We'll get this done. It took us an hour
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do.
There were 2 separate times where I felt like I was going to pass out, and I've never had food do that to me before. So,
Yep, it was really bad. I think I had an out of body experience doing that one. But I know for me, it's very on brand that I do these challenges. Fire and heat are also a bit a part of my brand anymore. So it works out. It works out real well. We've done a few of those with the one chip challenge when that was around.
oh yeah,
Uh, the Bean Boozle Fiery 5. This one I did the world's hottest gummy bear,
yeah.
and the next one. Not sure when this is coming out, by the way, but when we do Gamers Forgiving, I got the world's hottest chocolate bar as our main milestone there.
Well, that's a good point. I I have not committed to a date for this to release. I will let everyone know we're recording this on April 1st, so you can see how good or bad I am at turning around a product after I record it here. But I am going to commit right now in this moment to getting this out before Gamers for Giving, so that I can say right now, please, 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 if you are listening to this, if you're watching this, show up to our streams for Gamers for Giving. It's an incredible charity cause. It raises money for Gamers Outreach, and actually, I'll let you talk a little bit about what Gamers Outreach does, because we'd love to see all of you there.
Yes, Gamers Outreach. What they do is they help out on the more of the fun aspect of children's hospitals, I guess you could say. They create what they call go-karts, which are these little movable consoles that they can wheel into different hospital rooms. They have a monitor on it, video game consoles, controllers. They can wheel them in to the rooms where kids are staying at, and hopefully help them have a good time and be a kid, really, because being in the hospital, it sucks, especially when you're a kid. You don't want to be in the hospital. You want to be out being a kid. So the go-karts help kids kind of forget why they're in the hospital in the first place, and help them keep the mind off of everything that they're going through. And we do that every April. It's a weekend long event, and it's a really good time. And we hope you guys show up for it. Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
we
We'd
are
love to
about a
see
week and a
that.
half away. Yeah,
Yeah, April 11th through 13th this
the
year,
13th.
if I'm
Yes.
remembering correctly. And I'll say it's a cause that's near and dear to my heart. When I was in third grade, I had a bit of an extended hospital stay due to my asthma. And it just so happened that during that stay, the room next to me in the hospital held the brother of a girl that I had a crush on. He had broken his leg. And so during my hospital stay, she would come over and she would visit me, and the hospital had an N64 on a cart like this. And we'd both sit on the end of my bed, and we would eat pickle spears, and we would play N64. And I got to hang out with this girl that I had a crush on since I was in like first grade.
That is adorable.
And I got to feel like a kid. Like the hospital wasn't such a bad, scary place, and that was
Yeah.
that was a big thing. She wouldn't have come over to my room except to say hey, if they didn't have that. So that was an important thing for me, for young me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, pivoting a little bit, I don't know how to. Well, okay, actually, I was going to go to my question about challenges, like what challenges you as a streamer. I'm going to put that on pause, so you can think through that one. But I think
All
this is
right.
probably related to what we've been talking about, and that's the question of what keeps you going. As a streamer, what's your reason for hitting go live each time? Because not every stream is a big charity event. Some of them are just like your regular weekly streams. What keeps you in the game?
Honestly, I have a fun time every time I go live. I think, um, if it's ever stopped being fun for me, I think that might be in my head when it's probably time to go. I always get a little anxious and excited as I'm getting things set up, and then I'm like, okay, it's 2 p.m. Here we go. Let's do this. And I think that's the kind of thing that keeps me going. It's we're able to keep growing the channel, growing the audience, and in turn that also lets me help out my friends' streams even more and bring more attention to the charity events we do. Um, it's been a very rewarding experience for me streaming. I was never the most outgoing or most popular guy in my life in school. I was always trying to figure out where I fit in, and just like everybody else, we're all just making it up, really, just making it up as we go. And I don't know. I feel, how do I put this? I really found something that I enjoy doing, and found a space where it feels like I belong. And I'm like this. I'm like, this is the kind of thing I want to do. I've wanted to do this my whole life. This is great. I'm glad the platform exists that I'm able to do it, and I have a fun time every time. It's very rare that when I hit stop streaming, that I feel bad about something or I'm upset. If that ever happened on a regular basis, I think that would be the time for
Mm.
me to walk away. But I don't want to leave yet. I got no signs of slowing down yet. So I want to keep going.
Everyone
I'm having a
listening was
blast
like,
doing what we do.
everyone tuned in because they were like, maybe this is the one where Kev announces his retirement, but now we know it's not on the horizon.
Not yet. No. It would either have to be just some sort of big life change that would keep me from streaming, or if I stopped having fun with it, that would be when it's time to go. But I still feel anxious and excited right before I hit that go live button
Mm.
every single time, and I'll never get tired of it. I'm kind of hooked on it, so I'm hooked on that feeling. It's true.
Blue Sweet intensifies. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooga chugga. No, I love that. I am also the type of person who I just find a lot of joy in doing this and in the community aspect of it and feeling like I have a place where like I found my people, and I continue.
Yeah.
Like that's the coolest thing for me is I continue to find my people on a regular basis, and I feel like even folks that you and I know, like our communities cross over nearly
Yeah.
a full circle.
Yes, the Venn diagram is a circle.
Yeah, it's pretty close. But I feel like if you look at a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago, like it just keeps getting wider and wider, and we're always adding in new people, and that feels really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have had those moments where I have felt anxiety more than excitement hitting the go live button, but I'm happy to say that I'm in a place where I feel the same way. Like it's joy, and it's what is this going to be? Because it's never the same thing. No two streams are exactly the
Yes.
same.
Right. I never know like what to expect, what's gonna happen. I'm like, it's 2 p.m. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's hang out.
We trained
Let's
for
have let's
this.
have our time. Yes.
Well, so I gave you a little bit of time to think it over there. I gave you the little precursor. Now I'll ask you, and I think this is a good kind of flip side of that. What challenges you about streaming? What are the things that give you pause, or that maybe cause a little bit more of the nervousness than the excitement?
What challenges me? You mean like more than every game I play? All of them. Oh, that's true. It's all of them. Uh, I don't know. I think a lot of it. I don't ever want to keep things the same too much. Like I'm always racking my brain trying to figure out. Okay, what can I do differently? What like channel point redemptions or whatever? What can I add that would be new, fun, and exciting? How can I evolve this and move forward? Um, what other games would be fun to add for community game days that might get some traction? A lot of times it's trying to just figure out new things to do with the channel and new directions to take it. And what's always really scary about that is if you do want to try something new with your channel, you can't just do it once and decide, okay, this did or did not work. You kind of have to do it a few times before you say, okay, that's not working. We can pivot and do something else. But honestly, I think it's important to kind of keep changing things up at least a little bit so that there's never a dull moment, and it's just constantly evolving and adding new stuff to it. That way, people aren't getting bored, people are having fun, and you also want to make it an environment where everybody feels included and everybody's having fun. So it's trying to please everybody has been one of the things I try to do. It's also probably the toughest thing. It's tough to make everybody happy. I do a community game day where I give people 20 options on what to vote for every week. And I don't want to do fewer than that because I'm like, look at all these options we got. You'll love at least a couple of these.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So,
honestly, it's impressive to commit to potentially playing one of 20 different games. I'm always like, there's like 4 or 5 games that I want to play right now. 20 is very impressive.
I'm like, I've got all these games. I enjoy all of them. You guys should enjoy at least a couple of games on the list. There's a lot of variety on there, and I'm just trying to check off as many boxes as possible and make sure everybody can feel included, have fun, and make sure that we're switching things up enough, keeping the sparks fly.
Yeah. And I love that too, because I've definitely had the experience before where I've been like, okay, I watch the streamer and I like him, and I tune in for a second streamer, like, yeah, they seem like a nice person. I enjoy them. And then I get like 5 streams down the road and I'm like, this has been almost the same stream 5 times in a row. Like, I think we kind of crave variety and kind of like evolution as we go along. And I honestly, every time I tune into your stream, I'm like, this is completely different from the last thing I saw.
Right.
Watching you go from like a 2D Mario platformer to like Mafia to Grand Theft Auto 5, like they all feel so different, and I love it. I'm always getting something different.
Yeah, we just did a weekend just this past weekend where I kind of stepped outside of my comfort zone a little bit. I had played Minecraft a little bit here and there, but never enough to really get a feel for it or decide whether or not I liked it. And that was another charity milestone we had, where if we reached that, I'd play Minecraft for an entire weekend. And we had a really good time with it. I'm like, I know it's not going to be for everybody, but at least it's something different we're trying, and might try to thread that game in there on a more regular basis. There'd be something different, something kind of chill, something relaxing. I think that's my favorite thing about a game like that is there's not really a goal you need to have in it. You can kind of hang out, build your stuff, and just have cool, interesting conversations with people.
Mm-hmm.
It's something different. So now I'm like, okay, maybe we add that in there, and it can bring a different vibe to the channel.
Yeah. I had an excellent time playing Minecraft with you last Friday. We weren't even in like the same area. We were in completely different sides of the map, doing our own thing, but like hanging out in a voice call and hearing there was like a shrine to Kevbone316 that you found or something.
Yes, I'm like, this stuff is already here. What is this?
Again, the community using even on a server that you were not a part of, using you as a bit of a punching bag there. That's rough,
I'm
buddy.
like, this is the kind of stuff you guys do when I'm not here. Really? What else don't I know about? What other games am I in?
Yeah, you don't want to see what we've been doing in Palia. That's who. No.
Oh boy.
I kid entirely. But now I've got ideas for my next stream, so I'm just
lovely.
Quickly pivoting away from that so that you don't think too deeply about it. Do you have a favorite moment, or maybe a small handful of favorite moments from your what did you say, 13 year career as a streamer?
Thereabouts. Yes.
That's incredible.
Favorite moment. The Give Back Gamers streams. I always look back on those real fun, because that was something I had wanted to do since I saw like the Mario Marathon group just play Mario games for an entire week just together and just do all these challenges and stuff for the audience. Those were great. I really loved the charity events we Those have been fun. Like if I had to pick a favorite moment streaming, gosh, I think I honestly think the roast of Kevbone316
Mm.
had to have been one of the top broadcasts I think we'd ever done on this channel. Because we had people like Tuxedo Hammer and Dead Sassy put together these elaborate videos for the roast. And we had people like Tebrin, another friend of ours, who came in. He was one of the first people to roast me. The gloves came off, and then he just set this standard. And I'm just like, I don't know how anybody follows this.
Mm.
And uh it was a really, really good thing. I honestly, any streamers out there, if you're doing a charity event, do a roast. People are gonna have fun with it. 100%. It's a good time right there. But charity events are the top. A lot of work and time and effort goes into them, but when you're actually there doing them, it is the definition of heaven on earth. Because I have so much fun doing them. We're doing good for a lot of people, and I'm always looking forward to the next one.
And I always have the like um mentality is not the right word. I'm always impressed. Because like none of us is like a huge big shot, thousands of viewers all the time streamer or anything like that. But the fact that together like these events are so impactful, we raise such an impactful amount of money, like thousands of dollars every year for these good causes. And I've only jumped in quite recently, so when I say we, it's not even like me. But it's always been such an impressive thing to me that like you do not have to be huge to make a huge impact.
Yes, absolutely. That is entirely true.
Yeah, I love it.
So it's a good thing to get involved with. They're fun to do, and so when you're doing something you love with people you love, it's the definition of heaven. I love it. We're doing good things, and I couldn't be more happy with what we accomplish with these charity streams. Like you said, we raise a lot of money for them, and I'm floored every time. I am just floored every time. We'll never get old.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean you have constant reminders. Eventually your entire body's going to be tattooed with charity logos, right? That's
I don't know about all that. The most recent one, though, if you guys want to know what
Yeah,
those
show it
go
off.
karts look like, there we go. That's a Gamers Outreach logo on a go kart right there.
There you go. Gamers
Uh,
Forgiving 2025, April 11th through 13th. We will see you there. At this point, I'm not saying we'd love to see you there. Just be there. We'd love to see you there.
yeah.
And if you're listening to all of this and you're like, oh man, I would love to get into a charity stream or event or something like this, find some friends. You can put to like anybody can do Extra Life or Gamers Outreach, like Gamers Forgiving, that type of stuff. Anybody can raise money for it. Or you can find another like team of streamers and see if you can jump in with them. Like there's always space to raise money for a good cause. It turns out.
100%.
There you go. All right, we're getting to our last few questions here. This is one of my favorite questions, so no pressure here at all. But if you had to give a piece of advice to a large group of people, like say you're standing on a stage in front of thousands of people, you have to give one singular piece of advice. That's the only thing you're allowed to give. What would it be?
Oof. So not even really about streaming, but life
Any piece.
in
It could be
general.
about streaming. It could be about streaming. It could be about life in general. It could be about football fandom. It could be about best cities in Ohio to live. I don't know. Whatever floats your goat.
Well, for streamers, I'll say this. For streamers, it things aren't going to happen right away. Streaming is hard. You might get affiliate quick, but that's where the real work kind of begins. But streaming is hard. I know not everybody can do a schedule. That kind of thing helps, but it is a fun, rewarding, awesome experience. If things don't happen right away, stick with it. I was streaming to not a whole lot of people for a long time. For a long time, I've seen a lot of people come, a lot of people go, but it was one of those things where I enjoyed doing it, kept doing it, and I could not be happier. Hard work pays off, and I think I'm a really good example. As far as general advice to give to general advice, general advice to give to anybody, I just go with one of my favorite quotes. You only get one go around here, and it's important to have a good time. So it's don't take life too seriously. You'll never get out alive.
I like that so much. And both of those things together so much as well. You know,
Yes.
I think that part of the reason that sticking with streaming in the early days is because you do want to take it really seriously.
Yeah.
And I think a little bit of levity can help get you through there in streaming and in life. That's beautiful. Ah, that's beautiful. I love that so much. All right. We're getting into the more logistical stuff here. It's been an absolute joy talking to you today, Kev. Hit me with the logistics of your stream. What's your schedule? When can people find you on the twitch.television?
More often than not, I try and keep it really consistent. It's not easy to do all the time because I only stream on weekends. And, you know, events happen on weekends, whether it's, oh, birthday parties or weddings or whatever the case may be. So I try to keep it consistent. 2 p.m. on Fridays, 2 p.m. on Saturdays, and 2 p.m. Sundays. I'm usually doing like a maybe 4 or 5 hour stream on Fridays and Sundays, but Saturdays we can go on for a bit playing the community games. That's our community game day. Let people vote on what we play. We cycle games in and out of that list. And around every 2 hours, we switch up the game or not, if depending on if people are enjoying what they're playing. But our community game days are, I feel like that's the main event of every weekend is the multiplayer stuff. We get into a voice chat, play some games, and just get silly. So
I
2 p.m. Friday through Sunday.
I laughed when you said sometimes it can go a bit long because of the one time that we played Hunt. And I left after like 3 hours because I had to go do stuff. And I got a text at 1 o'clock in the morning saying that you guys had been live playing this game for like 13 hours.
I still, boy, I still didn't know how that happened. Like usually I would send a raid over to like Tuxedo Hammer, who would usually go live at like I think he goes live at 7 or 8 on Saturdays. But he was in there in the game with us doing the Hunt Showdown that
Hmm.
we had all agreed to do, and nobody wanted to stop. Nobody mentioned anything about stopping. Nobody said, "Hey, we should think about getting off. We should hang this up." No, we kept rolling.
And it was the first day that most of us had played that game, right? Like brand new to the game, absolutely hooked. And for the record, that stream happened with everybody playing that game for the first time as a reward for a charity stream. So it all ties back in.
It all does. We had a couple people who knew what they were doing in the game, and they tried their hardest to teach us everything they knew. I don't know how well they reached us. Me in particular, it took me forever to finally for it to click with me. Oh, that's how you kill the fire guys. You only told me 8 times. Got it.
Oh, they explode if I do. Oh.
Every Oh, it was so good though. But yes,
All right.
that's the schedule there. So
Friday through
long may it
Sunday, 2
continue.
p.m., right? Yep.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. Well, I'm sure Kev would love to see some of y'all out there if you're not already there. Friday through Sunday, 2 p.m. Kev, before we wrap up here, do you have anything that you'd like to like plug or recommend or encourage people to check out?
I'll say it again. Gamers Forgiving. It's what the 12th and 13th. That's when we got it. 11th through 13th. We might be going live that Friday. I think a couple of us will. I know Sassy plans to. I might as well. We'll see what happens. We're going live there for Gamers Outreach. I also just recently changed something on my channel and tried to try something new. I have merch now.
Yeah.
This shirt modeled after Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, which where the 316 in the name come from. So I got Kevbone316 shop.fourthwall.com, I think is the URL.
I'll
So
throw a link to that in the description for this episode.
that's all we've got for now. And we do Extra Life within the first couple weeks of November as well. So watch those streams.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me. Before we head out, do you want to throw any words towards the debate of the Bone Zone versus Butt Hut versus Ball Hall?
I am 110% behind the Bone Zone name. That is 100% fact. We used to call the channel the Boneyard. Everybody wanted me to change it to the Bone Zone. I finally did. And then everybody's like, oh, well, we've got Butt Spot now, and Butt Spot's hilarious, so we need to change it to the Butt Hut. I'm like, I just rebranded. We can't do this again. We're not doing this again. We can't do it.
And this goes back to the challenge of trying to please everybody. It just can't.
Yes. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
Oh man,
You can pick a side. You can pick a side in the merch shop, though.
There you go. Ooh. Not only did we bring it back to the previous conversation, but we plugged the merch again as well. That's killer, man. That's something you only learn after 12 years of streaming. That's
Right.
Kev,
yes,
thank you.
Bone Zone. Don't forget it.
There it is. There it is. 100% or 110%. You said that's the final word on it.
Final word.
Kev, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for listening to this episode of Streamer Story. Kevbone, thank you again for joining us. This was a lovely conversation.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Goop. Love you to death, buddy. Keep doing what you're doing as well.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the next one.
Love you too, man. Get some sleep. If you have enjoyed this, please let me know. If you really liked it, be sure to share it with someone that you think might enjoy it too. My name is GupasMegerg. This has been Kevbone316. By the way, you can find him at twitch.tv/Kevbone316. I can't believe I didn't say that earlier. But you can find me at twitch.tv/GupasMegerg. I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day, y'all.